We're at Pass Summit in Seattle, and I am with a man who, if anyone watching this has used SQL Server, has ever searched the web for any help about SQL Server, they know who you are.
Thank you.
This is Pinal Dave, also known as SQL Authority.
Yes.
So Pinal, you are celebrating an anniversary. Tell me about that.
Well, I have to tell you this interesting thing. I have been married 9 years. I have a daughter which is 8 years old. But my first love has just completed 11 years, and that's SqlServerBI.blog. So yesterday I celebrated 11 years. In 11th year celebrate. See, I'm so emotional when I say this thing. It just gets into my head because I think I'm attached to it. It's 11 years. Every single day I have been writing.
11 years every single day. And
yes.
That's how many days?
If you count it, I think it's comes around 4,000 days, but my blogs are 4,200.
Okay, 4,200 blog posts.
Yes.
In 11 years.
Yes.
Okay, that's amazing. I have read so many of your posts.
Thank you.
Because I need help with SQL Server. I think we all need help with SQL Server. Sometimes it's just a matter of not remembering what we've already learned.
Exactly. You're right. I think more than, and I'm honored to know that you need help because I always thought you don't need any help and you have everything memorized.
Well,
but
I've forgotten most of the things that I've learned. So I always need help.
Yeah, so yeah, 4,200 blog posts in a 4,000 days. So every day I've been writing one blog post in 1.5 line.
Okay. All right. So you embody consistency. I've been blogging for a while, but I will go for periods of time and thinking, oh, I don't have anything good to blog about today. I'll work on it tomorrow, and I don't tomorrow until maybe I work on a project, and and then I find something interesting. But I may go for days or weeks before I blog.
Yes.
But how do you keep this up? How do you find something interesting to blog about every single day?
Yeah, this question everybody asks me. So in a lighter note, I tell everybody that I don't have a job, so I can do blogging actually.
Right.
So, but
I know that you do have a job because you do consulting work. And,
correct.
Yeah, and you work with a lot of customers.
Yes. So so that way, in one way, I still don't have a job. So if you have anybody. Hello. Yeah, so second point is, I do consultation, so a lot of consulting work and customers keep me busy. That is very true. But blogging is hard, and I think acid property we always keep on talking about. I decided to catch up with the C.
Okay.
Because A and B and all of you guys are there before me.
Skip over B altogether.
Oh yeah,
right,
exactly. So I just went with the C, consistency.
That.
But remember, when you do C only, then acid, other words, are a little bit compromised. So sometimes I also feel that I could have done better with my content. I sometimes feel that I can give more with my content. Sometimes I feel that my content is more durable. All the component of acid, like it's more integrated, its integrity is better. I feel it is more durable, so it can go longer time. Instead of then, I think I just stuck to C. So I understand my limitations in doing it, but by putting all the focus on C, I think I was able to finish it. So that's how it is.
Excellent.
But when I read your blog or other people's blogs, sometimes they are much better, some more depth, more durable. They are forever. Their life is like 12 years, 15 years. I wish I can be like that, but you know what? Not everybody can do everything.
Well, let me ask you this question. So there's no doubt that you know a thing or two about SQL Server.
Yes.
You're very well studied. You obviously have a lot of expertise and experience with the product. Writing is a different skill.
Yes.
Whether it's technical writing or blogging.
Yes.
So how do you bridge those two disciplines and bring them together?
That is a
What's
very
the
good
secret?
That's a good question. So I think a lot of good teachers are not a good performer in terms of they cannot do the task. They can just teach well, and a lot of people who can teach well sometimes cannot do the good work. Oh, I said the same sentence two different ways. Look at how my English is. And now with this English,
you should hear my Hindi.
So with this English, I wrote 4,200 and I just counted the words out of 4,200 blog posts. I counted the words, average words out of it, and it comes out to be Leo Tolstoy's 6 War and Peace.
six
times War and Peace, and each copy is this big. And I was like, if I ever print SqlServerBI.com, it can go to moon 6 times and come back. And I was like, interesting. I never thought about it, but it's a good thought. Oh, coming to the original question. So where do I bridge the gap? I think I struggle. And I think one of the best part is that people has seen my content. So when my customer comes to me with that, they come up with a one kind of thought process, dedication, faith, and convictions that, oh, we are going to Pinal Dave, he's a SQL authority, he will solve the problem. So when they put all their faith in me and they come to me, I think my 50% problems are just solved there because they have a confidence in me.
That's a little bit of pressure.
That is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
But then when they are totally bought into it, they listen to me and they do not argue with me. They just follow the basic systematic commands, which best practices, which we all have known. They just hear me, follow me because they think it will solve the problem. It solves the problem. So I feel like I'm very much blessed because people's trust and their own expertise help them find the discovery of their own problem and they solve it most of the time. I don't think so it's me, I think it's them. But when they might have gone to some other people, when they had a little doubt or they went into this kind of duel who is better or if this is right for the system, when they doubt the other consultant's decision, I think they might not reach to the proper outcome. So they can go to any consultant as long as they have a complete faith in it. I think your problem, if you have a performance problem, I think only you can solve it. We can just give you guidance or help you discover it and guide you towards the solution, but still you have to walk it. So come to me, I'll do the same. Go to you, anybody, but go with only 100% faith that this person is gonna solve your problem and follow the advice. I can promise you, any consultant will fix your performance problem.
All right, that's good advice. I appreciate that. I will say that I think the one discipline and the one characteristic that I see in your writing and your approach is that you stick with the basics.
Yes.
And you're very systematic. You know, sometimes when I'm teaching or when I'm blogging, I'm thinking, oh gosh, people think I'm this expert, so I need to come up with something really, really smart to blog about. And you know, and so I reach for something advanced, something very, very different.
Yes.
But you always stick with the basics, even though I know you know so much about.
Yes.
You're the SQL authority.
Right.
You know so much about SQL Server, but I think you also recognize that people really need to get back to basics.
Right.
And just make sure that they're following correct principles.
So I think there are two ways to answer this one. A lot of people think I only write basic because I do not know some of the advanced stuff.
I don't think that.
No, except you, he, and there are three people who are standing there are thinking,
Right.
sorry, yeah, you are partially right. Anyway, so I think initially when I started, I had challenges because I was not deep enough. I didn't know, I was still learning. So I just thought I would write the basic stuff and then when I learn the advanced stuff, I will write it. But what has happened is, I think people just love the basic stuff so much, and every time I attempted the advanced stuff, the feedback which I got is, that was too complex, not your style. That was too difficult, not something we come for that thing to you. Oh, that blog post, we didn't ever understand what you write in it, and that blog post, I was so much proud in it. When blogging becomes my living, I realize if people do not go to my blog, and if they do not appreciate what I've done, I don't think so I'm ever going to make a living. And so I think it's just a balancing act that no matter how many times I try to go right above the basic or fundamental, I was pushed back to write the same thing to make money. And I think 11 years, I'm sure there are so many deep content, but they are not surface at all. And I remain the guy for fundamental.
All right. So you need to be true to yourself.
Yes.
And realize what your motivations are.
I agree. It's a blogging is a living for me. Like a lot of people, as I said, what do you do? I said, I don't have a job. I think a lot of people say, you must have a job. And I said, yeah, see, my job is being independent consultant. I do blogging. And that's the only thing I do.
Yeah. What are the most valuable resources to you? And where do you go for help?
This is a very interesting question. So if I start saying names with the same famous people's name, I think other interviewer would have taken it. So I would suggest you watch other interviews of Paul, and I think you will get all the famous names. So, and that's where you go. But I'm going to tell you, when I'm not going to the other famous people's blog or resources or Microsoft site, I think my place to learn something new has been recently Stack Overflow. where I've spent so much time learning about new stuff. Because I don't want to learn about something new which nobody's going to use it. I can go to MSDN documentation or some of the famous blogs and I would learn something which I never going to use it. But when I go to Stack Overflow or even a server exchange and all the site, I learn only those stuff which are people struggling with, which people are looking forward to it, or which people want clarification. And I think I'm just learning from the place where people are learning. So
Okay.
Stack Overflow has been my technical homepage for a while.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. In conclusion, I'm going to ask you one other question.
Sure.
Top 3 most important SQL Server best practices.
Top 3. First of all, name all the fan of the fast and furious people. Do not ever click on boost SQL Server for priority. People think boost SQL Server priority. My car will run faster.
Sure.
Never happens.
All right. That's
never happens.
That's the nitrous oxide button.
Exactly.
Right.
It's never going to happen. Second thing, I've seen it. People just ignore the tempdb and they let it install on the C drive. Don't let ever tempdb on a C drive. And third and final thing, it's a very, very popular, it's a very, very known, don't ever shrink your data file. I think these 3 things,
Sure.
you stop doing it, I think most probably performance problem may not come to you, which is generated by you.
All right. Pinal Dave,
Yes.
thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
time.
Thank you very
We
much.
appreciate your
Yeah.
contribution to the community.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. Thank you. Again, thanks a lot. technical writing. I'm not doing technical writing. I'm doing blogging. Blogging involves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tasks. Not a single person can achieve. So you need help. I do have a help. Help is domestic help. Well, my wife actually.
Yeah.
So that's a
I
story.
need to get my wife to help me blog. I had my wife to be a content editor for. Are we recording?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get it set
Yeah.
up.
Right.
Yeah. My wife was my content editor on my last reporting services book.
Yes.
And
the book did well.
I'm surprised that we're still married.
Exactly.
Yes.
So,
It's on film.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
We framed well?
I'll give you another idea also to ask me. Said, you're a blogger. How can you tune Pinal server? Writing and doing are different things. So how do you bridge a gap?
Okay. All right. I'll
I
ask the
think
question.
nobody knows. I've always wanted to write about this thing on my blog, but never reached to a point.
All
Said, like, writing is different and doing is different.
Sure.
Sometimes good teacher are not good performer, and good performer just don't know how to teach.
Okay. All right. I'll ask you that
Okay.
question.
Oh, okay. Otherwise, up to you.
All right.